Guys, a reminder to go follow me on Instagram at Bombastic. I'm going to start posting more content over there, and I'd really love to see you there. Okay, so today, earlier this morning at my 3 a.m, I did not wake up for this, but EA Play Live 2021 was held. EA's big yearly event where they showcase new games, DLC, and the latest and greatest from their dev studios. We already knew that Star Wars wasn't going to be a part of this year's event, sadly, and there was no mention of Star Wars during the event. Nothing at all. Not even the words Star Wars were mentioned. So today, while I wait for the latest episode of the Bad Batch to release, I thought I'd make a video showing you guys what was announced and some of the cool stuff that's happening with Battlefield I'd love to see implemented into a Star Wars game one day, hopefully. Hey everyone, it's Andrew. So I'm sure you've probably seen the trailers for Battlefield 2042, the all-out warfare with a heavy focus on sandbox elements. It's the return to Battlefield, the roots of the series. Well, EA just revealed another game mode for Battlefield 2042 called Battlefield Portal. This is something entirely new, described as a customizable creative mode that will let players create and share their own unique battles and multiplayer scenarios that combine weapons, maps, and vehicles from across the franchise. It combines Battlefield 1942, Battlefield Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3, and Battlefield 2042, and basically allows you to create your own game modes to take online and then play with your friends or with whoever you want. It's being described as a Battlefield toy box. Want to create a melee-only match? Knives versus defibs? Want to put one tank up against an army of remote-controlled EOD bots? You can do whatever you want. Have only weapons, play World War II versus 2042, so much customization. It's almost like modded maps and modded game modes. This game mode was built by Ripple Effects Studio, formerly DICE LA, and the reason this mode looks so groundbreaking is because it's giving power to the players. EA have been really vocal about listening to community feedback and have integrated that into a game mode, which they're saying will evolve over time and be adapted to what players want. Battlefield Portal comes with this game mode editor, which allows you to make back-end tweaks and modify the game mode to your liking. This isn't a map editor, but it allows you to set conditions and rules for your custom experiences. And Ripple Effect have said they'll be updating this over time to give more power to players and allow them to create the Battlefield experiences they've always wanted. It's the ultimate sandbox. That's what they're really trying to drive home here. And honestly, this has given me some old school 2005 Battlefront 2 instant action vibes. Sure, you couldn't go crazy with modifying the game modes, but I think everyone can agree that game got the sandbox so right. It gave us a great amount of freedom to play Star Wars battles the way we wanted, with the ability to adjust the amount of players, different faction options, and modes like Hunt, Capture the Flag, Conquest, and Assault for so much variety. You'd never get bored playing Battlefront 2 back in the day because there were so many different ways to play. Even though EA's Battlefront 2 is probably the largest Star Wars shooter ever created and has given us a decent amount of player choice, it never fully captured those magical sandbox moments from the original. However, introducing a game mode like Battlefield Portal into a Star Wars game would be a huge step towards achieving this. With all these customization options within a Star Wars game, I just feel like you'd be able to go nuts and create the experiences we've always wanted. Star Wars is always about the giant battles and cinematic moments, reliving moments from the films, and creating your own moments with heroes, lightsaber duels, and so much more. Now, can you imagine if we were given a game mode modifier like what Battlefield is getting, which brings in content and maps from EA's Battlefront 1 and 2 and allows you to play exactly how you want to play? Want to put the droid army up against the Empire? Want to have one single AT-AT face off against an army of rebels? Play a Hunt style game mode with Ewoks vs Gungans? What if we could make our own game modes like Ewok Hunt? The ability to adjust lighting and which weapons each character has available. An Order 66 game mode where an army of clones hunt down a team of 4 Jedi. These are the types of modes we've only ever really seen glimpses of across multiple Star Wars games, but have never been fully realized. Heck, if a mobile game could do an Order 66 mode better than any other game, why not give us the option to make our own game mode like this? This was the Republic Commando Order 66 game from 2005. Really cool. Video on that in the top right corner. So the other big announcement from this year's EA Play Live is the return of Dead Space. Motive Studios, the guys who built Star Wars Squadrons and the Battlefront 2 story story mode, have been working on rebuilding the game from the ground up. So no, this isn't a remaster. It's a complete remake built in the Frostbite engine with new animations, models, and everything. As far as I know, this is a remake of just the original game released in 2008, which was originally developed by EA's Visceral Games. They no longer exist, but they made 2 more Dead Space games, Dead Space 2 and 3, released in 2011 and 2013, which didn't sell as well, and Visceral was shut down in 2017 while working on the cancelled Star Wars game known only as Project Ragtag, otherwise known as A Sad Day for Everyone. Also, the remake seems to only be releasing for next-gen consoles and PC, so it's likely it'll be a year or more before we actually see it release. And I think it's interesting EA are going back and reviving one of their single-player games. I'd say part of the decision to do that has to do with the success of Jedi Fallen Order. They've seen the value of a good single-player game and the fact there's a real demand for that, so they're going to look to create more single-player adventure games, or in the case of Dead Space, single-player sci-fi third-person horror game. I wouldn't be surprised if sometime in the next few years we see a Titanfall 3 or some kind of Titanfall revival. A few months ago, EA came out and said these kinds of decisions are in the hands of their studios, that it's basically up to Respawn to decide when or whether they want to make another Titanfall game. So perhaps there'll be a push for this. Although you'd have to think Respawn have their hands pretty full with the next Jedi game and the Apex Legends live service. But honestly, apart from that, the only other announcements during the event were stuff we kind of already knew was happening. There was FIFA, Madden, F1, Knockout City, Lost in Random, the new indie game, Grid Legends, the new racing game from Codemasters, who EA recently acquired, and that was kind of it. The main focus was on Battlefield. So the fact this year's event was held more than a month after E3 is kind of strange, right? Why would they move it this year specifically? I speculated that EA were wanting to make some huge announcements, which is why they distanced their event from any others. So perhaps they just wanted to give their devs more time to work on the games, but I'd love to know what you think. Why did EA distance their event from all the others and all the other announcements? And will you be playing any of the new games that were announced? Let me know in the comments. And for more Star Wars, you can watch one of these and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and join my Discord. Lots more Star Wars gaming news updates and everything else you need and want. And thanks for watching this. My name's Andrew. I'll catch you soon.
Stay bombastic.